Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design video. Really blocking and tackling in this thing in that the simple, easy steps, both houses, I only changed 3 or 4 things, but can really make a big impact. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, got 2 houses today, and all we're going to do is really fix the porch. We're going to focus on the porch. We went to Nashville to see my daughters, and they're looking to buy a house together, and so we're looking at inexpensive houses. And I just want to show you some of these details, some of the challenges that are happening on them. One, you see all these kind of funky things happening. For instance, they got a 3/1 window, which is typically an arts and crafts deal. I've got this pedestal little railing piece that's supporting a column. That's not a column. I don't consider that a column. And so arts and crafts in execution. It looks like a 1920s thing. So this detail here, I'm thinking 1920s. I look on the record and it says 1945. And then I'm thinking, well, this form, this kind of simple cottage in the 40s is a thing, but it's confusing. Then you see these 3 windows here, and all the other windows have been replaced except one in the back. And they've got brick in between there. Now, that is a terrible, never happened. Builders on cheap houses do this between windows. If there was ever a mold between the windows, you'd never put brick there, okay? Especially the way we lay up brick. I mean, it's silly. There should be a wood piece in between there that covers the mold. There was never a historic precedent for doing that except after ugly 1980s houses. You know, you see the dormer up here, you've got the, window, which is about 40% of the overall size. This is all, this is a tube, fluted tube, even worse. All this vinyl siding or metal siding over top and kind of a thin roof. And so what do you want to do with this thing? How do you fix it? This is a picture that this railing wasn't even there. And so what I've done is I've kind of gone back and given it more of a, as I say, architectural oomph. But there's a couple ways. I'm taking it in an arts and craft direction, okay? One, I'm keeping the 3/1 windows. I'm doing a 3/1 casement with a picture window in between. I think that's an arts and craftsy thing. I've got 3 windows I need to do something with. Those proportions work. I've changed the columns, obviously. I've done a tapered column over here. I've done a strong round column over here. A little bit of taper into that. I've done a craftsman style door. I've done this big plank style simple railing across here. And so, but basically building up this, and this could be this, I looked at this being a shed. I looked at this being, but because there's so little architectural stuff going on here, I wanted to give this more prominence to really ground this house and really help it, center it and everything else. Because right now your eye kind of drops over here and is attracted to this pediment coming out, and I'm trying to reduce that. I'm trying to center your eye and focus it on the house, and I think that works. But maybe this video, if nothing else, goes to get a few details right and it starts looking better, because if you can just fix that front porch, this house, really does transform, really is great. Another house they're looking at is this house. And so again, another kind of 40s charmer. This is a 40s house. The windows have been changed. The shutters are screwed on. New metal clad door, kind of cheap. This kind of entry piece is covered in metal siding, and they've taken out kind of the charm of this thing. And so what I've done is I've just kind of gunked it up with charm. And so I've put operable shutters on. I've got them on all the windows. I put a window box. This is the kitchen window under here. I've kind of defined this porch by putting a planter out here. You could put more planters out here, but really that porch is just kind of an ugly slab until you put something on it and help define it. So this gives your eye a place to go, okay, yes, it gives it depth, it gives it substance. We would go back with wood sash, okay, and divided light sash. These could be 6/6. I've got 6/1. I've gone with a colonial style door with like the bullseye glass in there. And I've really kind of just improved that little entry pediment, given it good columns, given it a good pediment, given it better architectural details. And this house now becomes kind of a really nice 1940s colonial revival, which was a very popular style at that time. It's not a big house. It's never going to be a showstopper, but it is charming. And by playing with the architecture architectural details, you really can make this house much better. Now, one of the things that, you know, I use, and give you guys another book, this book by Samuel Chamberlain, who is an artist and a traveler, and he was collecting architectural ideas. He has this book, New England Doorways. I've gone through 2 or 3 of these books, but I'll just show you that he's got examples in here of different types of doorways and different types of entries, New England all over. And the great thing is he tells you where they are. So that was in Stratford, Connecticut, Brunswick, Maine, and tells you that kind of the location. But, you know, for ours, you know, this is the kind of that pediment we want that kicks out the portico over the front porch. You could do this kind of thing where you don't have any architrave coming across. You could open it up a little bit. That's another idea that would be fun to do. But something like this, and even putting a fan light in that doorway, could really help it. But a book like this helps us get ideas. And so if we wanted, you know, to cut into the roof a little bit, I could, you know, put a fan light over top of this door and then change this up so that this opens up, right? I'd put this detail in here, and all of a sudden this is an open, you know, instead of being this architrave and frieze and everything coming across, you open it up like that drawing, and maybe that becomes a fun, different way of doing that. But both houses, okay, are improved by fixing the architectural details and specifically dealing with the porch. And really, I'm fixing 3 things. I'm keeping an original window. I've got a craftsman style door, better columns, a pedimented entry, and a picture window there. That's 4 items, okay? And on this one, I've got operable shutters, better columns, window box, and a little planter out here. So very few items I'm using to fix these houses, but when you get the architectural details right, all of a sudden these houses can really sing, can really be charming, and get a lot better. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, guys, a few things, right? Looking at the proper proportions of a pediment, you know, working operable shutters, divided light windows really can make a big difference, really can add tons of oomph into houses that are quite simple. Getting those details right can make a huge impact, and you can see it on those 2 houses. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.